These two portraits, painted in the 19th century, offer a glimpse into the everyday life of rural America. They were acquired by the guest from her cousin.
He told me that if I ever wanted him to just let him know and he would, let me have them. So I finally decided it was time.
Interestingly, this charming pair of portraits originated from Ohio and are a wedding set, painted in the 1820s.
They are both seated in painted Windsor side chairs.
They are painted on poplar panels with a gray background. One portrait depicts a man holding a book, while the other features a lady with a turtle shell comb in her hair. This pair of Ohio portraits would fetch a significant auction value of...
We'd probably estimate them in the $5,000 to $7,000 range.
Oh, okay. Well, they've been down in the basement, so I guess we'll bring them up and hang them on the wall.
Well, that sounds good.
On today's show, we feature a remarkable jug. And not just any jug, but an historic pottery jug. This extraordinary piece has been treasured in our guest family for 4 generations.
It's something that's been in my family for 4 generations. I can track back. It was inherited by my grandmother.
Crafted in the early 1800s in England's Staffordshire region, this jug is a testament to fine craftsmanship. The jug is adorned with intricate transfer-printed decorations, including an eagle, a cannon, an American flag, and a clipper ship, also flying the American flag. At the top, exquisite hand-painted floral designs add to its charm. The jug also depicts a northward view of Governor Wallace's Shell Castle and harbor in North Carolina.
Shell Castle was built starting in around 1789. It was heavily damaged in 1806 by a hurricane.
This jug is exceptionally rare and has been meticulously preserved. Due to its detailed scenic design and historical significance, this rare piece is estimated to be worth...
Retail value for this, despite the condition issues, would probably be between $8,000 and $12,000. Wow. It's just pure speculation.
The history of it is really interesting.
Exhibited on the show is a portrait painting signed by its maker, Elbridge Eyre Burbank. Elbridge Eyre Burbank was an American artist known for creating over 1,200 portraits of Native Americans. The guest acquired this painting many years ago from a shop. This portrait features the Native American chief Geronimo, who was both a military leader and a medicine man. Furthermore, the painting is rendered in oil on a canvas board and measures 12 by 9 inches. The condition of the painting is very good, and at auction, this historically significant piece would command a value of...
And I would evaluate it at $6,500.
Really?
Yes.
You're kidding.
No, not at all.
We have a vibrant piece of pottery here, showing off its elegant and historic look. This is a Rosenberg pottery made of eggshell porcelain, created in 1900. The Rosenberg Ceramics Company, a famous pottery maker in the late 19th to early 20th century, produced it. The surface features hand-painted designs in vivid greens and yellows, forming intricate floral and natural motifs. Looking closely, we can see that the designs are carefully outlined with keen attention to detail. The pottery is in great condition and gains value with age, putting this Rosenberg piece, which shows 20th century artistry, at an auction value of...
between $750 and $1,000.
Wow, okay.
And it is really, really pretty.
Thank you. I think it is too. I love it.
Just before the pandemic, the guest discovered this pair of whimsical chairs in a consignment shop and was immediately captivated by their design and rocking feature. The shop subsequently closed during lockdown, but when it reopened a year later, the guest negotiated and purchased them for $900. The appraiser confirmed that the chairs were created by Alan Siegel, a New York artist. The shop owner had mentioned that the chairs came from wealthy art patrons who owned the Union Oil Company in Maine. After the husband passed away, the widow downsized and sold some items, including these chairs, to the dealer. The appraiser provided background on Siegel, noting his success as a painter before transitioning to furniture making in the mid-1960s. Siegel, dissatisfied with painting and sculpture, began crafting chairs for his beach house, which gained popularity. He exhibited his work across America and produced various styles, including metal chairs with ginkgo leaf designs. The appraiser identified the chairs as products of the Memphis movement, characterized by bold colors, designs, and shapes that defied conservative norms. The chairs, made of bent wood, were signed and dated 1989 by Siegel. The appraiser praised the guest purchase as a wise investment, noting Siegel's growing recognition and predicting a rise in market value. Much to the guest's delight, the appraiser estimated that each chair could fetch between
auction today, they're bringing between $2,500 and $3,500 a piece.
Wow.
A piece.
Awesome.
Yes.
The displayed earrings are not just accessories. They are a bridge to a rich history of intricate artistry. The current owner purchased this pair from a jeweler about 4 years ago.
I bought them for about $200, and I have no clue. I wear them for every day.
Featured on these earrings is a delicate wirework technique known as filigree, which is commonly found in countries like Spain, Italy, and France. At the bottom of each earring, there is a pendant adorned with a raised gold cameo. These earrings, made circa 1760 to 1790, are French provincial pieces. Along the edges, we can discern their hallmarks, which remain very intact, retaining their allure.
Earrings in the marketplace, because after the revolution, people were melting down their gold just to survive. So finding a pair of earrings that are intact and that haven't been altered is really quite unusual.
At auction, these over 200-year-old earrings are estimated to be worth...
These would sell for somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000.
Oh, wow, okay.
I would just leave them as is and wear them and enjoy them.
Wow, I will. I'll treasure them.
Unveil the captivating story behind a priceless Art Nouveau vase gifted in love amid tragedy, cherished through generations. The guest brought the vase to the appraiser, saying it belonged to Jack Sawyer, an antique glass collector from New Orleans who also had pieces in a museum. The guest admired the vase during a visit to Waveland, Mississippi, years before Hurricane Katrina. Many of Jack's collections were lost in the storm, but this vase and others were saved and cleaned. When Jack learned he was terminally ill, he sent the vase to the guest. The appraiser recognized the vase as not glass, but pottery with a special Aeotian glaze made by a Hungarian company called Zsolnay. It has a shimmering golden-green color that changes in the light. The vase features intricate metalwork, including 2 peacocks with glass tiles for their eyes on a gilded pewter base marked Orion and 272. The base was made by a company called Orion, known for its geometric style known as Jugendstil. The appraiser highlighted the unique and valuable collaboration between Hungarian and German Art Nouveau styles evident in the vase. While estimating the price of the object, the appraiser said,
On today's market at auction, I would value it between $7,000 and $10,000. One almost identical to this sold at auction within the last 2 years for $12,000.
Unveiling a 1929 baseball signed by Yankees legends, a timeless treasure that baseball fans contend. The guest received a 1929 baseball from their stepdad, who had kept it since he was a child attending a game between Detroit Tigers and New York Yankees. The ball stands out for bearing the signatures of 3 Yankees legends from the Murderers Row era: Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Tony Lazzeri. Their signatures add significant historical value to the ball. This trio of Hall of Famers added their signatures in black ink despite the Yankees losing the game to the Tigers 9-8. The guest inherited the ball when their stepdad fell ill and went into a nursing home. Despite the appraisal, it was revealed that such baseballs, especially with signatures from players of this caliber, can get significant prices in auction. While examining the condition of the item, the appraiser said,
At auction, we estimate this ball could sell for $25,000. You could insure it for $35,000.
Wow, that's even more than I had thought. I've been thinking this ball was really worth $1,000.
An extraordinary relic of architectural history, this salesman's sample of a barn is fascinating. The guest brought this meticulously crafted model from around 1900. The model showcases the construction techniques used at the time, demonstrating the front section and bracing methods.
Probably what they're doing is showing you the construction of the first bays with all the bracing.
Salesmen used such samples to sell prefab homes. The model illustrates community collaboration with men and oxen raising sections while others nailed them in place. Its historical significance is immense, highlighting a bygone era of community-driven construction. Valued more for its historical importance than its monetary worth, The piece is worth,
I would say it was worth between perhaps $1,200 and $1,500.
Wow.
Okay?
steeped in history, this exquisite Staffordshire pottery set holds a deep family legacy. The pieces have been treasured and passed down through several generations. Produced in the early 19th century in Staffordshire, England,
they made a pottery, standard Staffordshire earthenware of the day.
These items were crafted by the renowned Enoch Wood and Son around 1825 to 1835.
And Wood was one of a large family of potters in Staffordshire active at the time.
Despite their simple manufacturing, the pieces feature unique transfer prints, each with its own story. The plate with a frigate and an American flag, though partially speculative, adds significant value. The teapot, adorned with an image of George Washington, is the most valuable piece due to its patriotic significance. Blending American admiration and English craftsmanship, this teapot is valued at,
I'm going to say between $800 and $1,000.
Not too bad at all. I've never had a cup of tea out of it, but maybe I'll try it sometime. And I wouldn't trade any of them for all the tea in England, so.
A masterpiece of 20th century domestic elegance, this pitcher and bowl set is truly captivating. The guest acquired this stunning piece nearly 30 years ago from a friend. The set features an intricate underglazed design. Its artistic craftsmanship makes it truly stand out. Produced by the Royal Doulton Company circa 1900, this set includes a distinctive dolphin handle, reflecting exceptional quality. Unlike most utilitarian pitcher and bowl sets, this wasn't originally made to be treasured. In pristine condition, coupled with its rarity, this set is a highly coveted collectible, valued at
between $1,000 and $1,500.
This will not change my lifestyle.
Okay. When I got into the business almost 40 years ago,
this sign represents more than just a fish market. It is a symbol of the trade networks and economic systems of the past. The item has been in the guest's wife's family for more than 50 years.
She acquired it from her dad, is that correct?
Yes, she got it from her father. He collected a lot of everything, whether it's folk art or American. He had quite a few pieces.
It boasts high-quality carving and is mounted on wrought iron. Additionally, the sign features beautifully carved details, including the tail, scales, and fins. Clearly, this piece has hung outside for a very long time, as indicated by the discoloration of the paint. This aesthetically appealing fish sign, although with minor wears, would fetch at an auction value of,
I might suggest estimating it in the $10,000 to $15,000 range.
It is nice. We really like it.
On display is a rug that belonged to the guest's father-in-law.
And it was in their house till he passed in 2008. And then she kept it for a while, and then my husband wanted it, so she gave it to him.
The rug was woven by a shop owned by Olga Fish. Fish was a Bauhaus artist, rug maker, art collector, and gallery owner. She fell in love with native Ecuadorian folk art and established a shop specializing in such items.
She saw that the Ecuadorian workers were being exploited, so she created the company to pay them a very fair wage so that they could take advantage of their artistic skills and abilities.
This rug, dating back to the 1970s, bears Olga's signature in the bottom right corner. Interestingly, the pattern adorning this piece is called caballito, characterized by colorful small horse motifs. The rug remains in pristine condition. In the retail market, this rug, with its deep connection to the Ecuadorian people, is estimated to be worth
$7,000, $7,500 in that sort of range. So it's a beautiful thing. So thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you very much. That's a lot more than I thought it would.
Featured on the show is a 4-volume set of books titled The Canterbury Tales. This set was inherited by the guest from his father.
They were just always on a bookshelf. Didn't think much about them, but I knew they were important, and I brought them.
Published by the Golden Cockerel Press, it is renowned for its beautiful illustrations, which are evident in these volumes. It took years, from 1929 to 1931, to produce this set, utilizing handmade paper and hand-set type. The set also features cloth binding with darkened and tanned leather. The condition of this set is exceptional, and it is considered a classic work of the arts and crafts movement. It is estimated to be worth
I would say in a retail store, this would be $4,000 to $5,000 at a minimum.
But my father had that knack of buying things cheap and hanging on to them.
He'd be happy with us.
Yeah, oh, yes. Yes.
Showcased today is a refined and classic wristwatch. Our guest stumbled upon this remarkable find while exploring his great-grandfather's collection. According to the Longines Registry, this remarkable piece was produced in 1938. It's a unique single-button chronograph watch bearing the dual branding of Longines and Cuervo y Sobrinos. Cuervo y Sobrinos, a celebrated name in watchmaking, was founded by Ramon Fernandez Cuervo and his nephews in 1882.
They were actually the exclusive importers of Longines for the country of Cuba.
The missing straps and minor wear do not diminish this treasure's value. This exceptional timepiece, untouched and unpolished, has preserved its original splendor and would have an auction estimate of...
It'll bring between $30,000 to $50,000 at auction.
Wow, that is incredible.
Holding what he tags a treasure for 30 years, this guest traded a Civil War newspaper for this exquisite piece. This sterling silver and mixed metals inkwell is a fine example of Tiffany & Company's craftsmanship designed under Edward C. Moore's directorship. It features intricate details like copper and brass bugs.
Then you have bits on the leaves that are partially copper and silver, and it's a really very fine example.
And some numbers on the underside, indicating its date and design order.
The number on the underside, the first set of numbers, which begins with a 4, is an indication of the date. And the second set of numbers is an indication of the design order.
Moore's influence from Japanese art is evident in this 1876 creation. The inkwell's design and historical significance make it a standout piece. In a retail setting in today's market, this exquisite piece would command a fee of...
This would sell for between $6,000 and $8,000.
Really? Wow. $160 trade wasn't a bad deal.
Civil War newspaper.
Yeah.
Pretty great.
This antique Caucasian Genja rug is a true gem that's rich in history. The guest received this rug from her godmother. Upon acquisition, this rug was professionally cleaned. Identified as a Genja rug from the Southeast Caucasus, its distinctive features are undeniable.
Genja is an area in the Southeast Caucasus. It's very close to where the Kazakh rugs are made.
It's notable for its multicolored selvage and unique barber pole striped bands.
In this case, enclosing pears or botte patterns.
It also showcases an ivory rosette border. Dating back to the late 19th century, this rug exclusively uses vegetable dyes and is in fine condition. This rug, a testament to the rich cultural heritage and exquisite craftsmanship of the Caucasus region, at retail would be valued at...
It would be $6,500.
Wow.
So,
yay.
Many thanks for bringing it in, and I'm
Thank
glad
you
you didn't
much.
sell it for $200.
Me too.
Acquired in 1965 at a silent auction, this beautiful painting by Selden Gile is a work of art. Selden Gile, a prominent Northern California artist, painted this in 1932. He was part of the Group of Six, influenced by the modern movements from the 1915 Panama Pacific Exhibition. Giles' work is characterized by strong colors and sinuous rhythms, reflecting the Fauvist style, and this particular painting, dated and signed, reflects those characteristics.
And that's Connor Gile 32, so this is 1932 it's painted.
The painting was done in watercolor, a technique wherein the paints are made of pigments suspended in a water-based solution. Giles was also known for his social gatherings and artistic collaborations.
And he was very popular amongst his friends because he was also a bit of a chef and a great host. They used to have a place in the Oakland Hills called the Chow House.
This painting's provenance and artistic significance add to its value, and in a retail setting, it would be sold for...
At auction, probably $5,000 to $8,000.
Oh my goodness.
There are oil paintings, and there are oil paintings. This beautiful painting by Clarence Millet is one of the rare but extremely magnificent oil paintings you'll see. Unlike other paintings that represent landscape, this one depicts a gate. Clarence is quite the name when it comes to drawing great oil paintings. This is a great depiction of the Impressionist style of painting and it was created in 1930, which was during Clarence's early years.
So it really mimics the colors in the painting. It certainly works well together. It is Jackson Square. We have the cathedral in the background.
This oil painting is magnificent, and if it were to sell at auction, it would fetch a price of...
If we were going to put this painting at auction, the estimate would be $8,000 to $12,000.
Okay. Wow.
This is the self-portraits of self-portraits, and it represents Russian artistry at its pinnacle, thanks to this painting's ravishing look. The contrast in color particularly makes this portrait appealing. It is an oil on canvas, and it's framed. The painting was drawn in 1925 by Russian artist Nikolai Feshin.
And during that period, he was painting portraits, for which he was very well known, and also teaching. And that, I suspect, is where your grandmother...
Nikolai's style of painting was quite famous because, in contrast to painting the figure itself first,
he had a very distinctive style. He painted with a palette knife and his thumb. He was a very hands-on painter.
He would start by painting the background so as to allow the details to be evident. This beautiful portrait at auction would retail at the price of...
At auction, I would estimate it between $60,000 and $80,000.
Whoa.
It's often said that pictures evoke certain nostalgic emotions. This photograph by Louis Hine fits quite perfectly into that statement. The photograph is titled Spinner and Foreman in Georgia Cotton Mill. These photographs were taken by Louis during his freelance days.
Hine starts freelancing as the National Child Labor Committee staff photographer. We see the young girl who's kind of being towered over.
And they were to depict the harsh working condition of people working in industries. This was one of the early show of child labor, and it was well shown in the picture. If this photograph was to auction today, it would retail for nothing less than
$2,000 to upwards of $60,000 at public auctions.
Thanks so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Given to the guest as a present by a very dear friend, this jug is a pleasing sight to behold. Made by a man more famous for his paintings, Pablo Picasso. Picasso was a Spanish painter, sculptor, printmaker, and ceramicist. This jug was made circa 1952 via a collaboration with Madura Pottery and has Edition Picasso 181/300 on the underside to show how many pieces were created. Still in good condition and with its provenance, this jug is valued at...
It's probably worth around $5,000 now.
Oh my gosh.
In good condition, a great form. Isn't that great?
Yeah, that's really great.
This guest has a remarkable collection of about 500 pens. Over 25 to 30 years, the guest's husband amassed this impressive collection. Among the collection, a set of Waterman pens is what she brought to the show, as they stand out for their unique history.
They are Waterman pens, very famous company that began in 1884, who made high-quality writing instruments for many, many years.
These pens were a gift from Amelia Earhart to her husband on May 20, 1932. Amelia Earhart was an American aviation pioneer. On that date, Amelia set the record for the first solo female transatlantic flight.
She took off from Newfoundland and she landed a little short of 15 hours later in Northern Ireland.
The pens are intricately engraved, featuring her plane and Neptune, the god of the sea. Their historical significance, along with the 14-karat gold, makes them highly valuable. In today's secondary auction market, these pens could fetch a price of...
would bring between $15,000 and $20,000.
My.
This extraordinary award tells of a rich family history. It was given to the guest's great-grandfather, who was the president of the American Brewers Association. Manufactured by the Whiting Silver Company
in Attleboro, Massachusetts. And the inscription on the medallion on the front is inscribed 1879.
The inscriptions written on the piece are done to appreciate the guest's great-grandfather for his great duty.
And it says, presented to our worthy president by the members of the United States Brewers Association.
Around the body of the piece are also great brewer figures and a medallion, which are quite well carved and beautiful. The piece is an épergne, known for its extravagant decorative appeal. The value of this award is boosted by its sterling make, historical significance, and brewing memorabilia status. Today, this exceptional trophy is valued at a figure of...
I would expect it to realize in the $12,000 to $15,000 range.
That's impressive.
Look closely at this figurine's serene expression and intricate attire. This figurine was inherited by the guest from her mother. It is a Chinese polychrome decorated stucco figure that originally resided in a temple.
Within a temple, accompanied by a row of other similar figures, each representing either a real person or symbolic of a figure such as Guan Yin or some other figure. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Crafted from thick clay mixed with straw, the piece was molded and then hand sculpted. The relief parts were painted with various pigments, including gold. We can discern a line near the figure's head indicating it had been replaced.
There certainly have been things that have transpired in the life of this object that have changed it from the original appearance.
And there are slight irregularities visible on its hands, also suggesting replacements. It isn't surprising that this piece has incurred wear and undergone replacements, as it dates back to the 13th to 15th century. Despite its wear, this figurine remains a significant artifact of Chinese history and is estimated to be worth...
In an auction sale, I believe this would realize somewhere between $5,000 and $8,000 at auction.
Thank you.
Our guest brought in an extraordinary artifact today. He procured it from a friend in financial straits. This stunning piece is a beautifully crafted sword, a true masterpiece. Intricate green and blue enamel work adorns this piece. Extravagance knows no bounds on this piece, lavishly decorated with diamonds.
They're nice bright diamonds. You've got some large rose diamonds.
This ornate piece bears the imperial monogram of Nicholas II, the illustrious Russian monarch. The remarkable item is in great condition, with some minor condition issues.
Likely. Now, there's some condition issues as you see. The whole silver and enamel portion at this end is missing, and you've got a little damage to the end. Do you remember what you paid for it back in the...
Yeah, well, yes, I paid $500 when I bought it from him. I believe he told me he paid $300 for it when he first picked it up.
Given its rarity and uniqueness, this magnificent piece would have an auction value of...
A conservative price might be $75,000 to $100,000. Whoa!
Our guest exhibited a diamond and platinum ring, which she inherited. It is a marquise-cut diamond and platinum ring with an elongated shape and pointed ends. This cut not only maximizes the carat weight, but also creates the illusion of a larger size. Dating back to the 1950s, the ring features a fancy colored diamond at its center. Made with rare stones, this exquisite piece of jewelry is estimated to be worth...
Would sell for between $40,000 and $60,000.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Is that what you expected to hear?
No.
No.
On display today is a magnificent antique violin. Our guest inherited this beautiful piece from her grandmother. This exquisite piece is credited to the iconic Johannes Baptist Cerruti, a prominent violin maker of the 18th and early 19th centuries. A delicately carved scroll adorns the tip of the violin. The F-hole design showcases the unmistakable hallmark of Italian craftsmanship, a level of quality that is consistently replicated throughout the length of the violin.
And as it approaches the corners, it actually scoops out. Typical Italian style, without a doubt.
This classic piece, believed to have been crafted between 1810 and 1820, is in great condition and would have an auction value of...
I'd give it an estimate of between $18,000 and I'd probably say $26,000, somewhere in that range at auction.
Wow, wonderful.
Suzanne brought a beautiful piece of embroidery to the antique show, a needlework created in 1817 by her great-great-grandmother, Maria Kugel. The piece is really impressive with its intricate details, rich colors, and the fact that it was done on silk fabric. Upon closer inspection, it is recognized as an extraordinary piece due to its age, excellent condition, and unique design, far exceeding typical samples seen on the show. Further research conducted revealed some fascinating details about the needlework's provenance. Suzanne wasn't actually Maria Kugel's great-great-granddaughter. There were several generations unaccounted for in the family tree. Additionally, the design of the embroidery itself turned out to be one of a kind, with no printed patterns resembling its layout. This unique composition, coupled with the drapery style unlike anything seen before, further solidified the needlework's extraordinary status. Considering these factors, the estimated value is to be
of around $40,000 to $50,000.
Oh my.
For insurance purposes, I would go $50,000 to $70,000.
Oh my, okay.
Have you ever come across such a fascinating jewelry box? The guest received it from a friend who was cleaning out her attic. The box's unique appearance, with inscriptions in an unfamiliar language, piqued the guest's curiosity. She wondered if it might have originated from Russia. Not only was the box Russian, but it was crafted by the renowned silversmith named Klebnikov, placing it in the company of prestigious works by Fabergé. Dating back to 1912, the jewelry box showcased exquisite craftsmanship. Some intricate details about the box include the silver material, the colorful enamel work, the sparkling gemstones, and the double-headed eagle motifs, a symbol of the Russian Empire. Considering its prestigious origin, age, and the artistry evident in every detail, the estimated value of the jewelry box is a remarkable
between $10,000 and $15,000.
Oh my God.
However, a recent appraisal saw the value of this same jewelry box increase to $70,000 to $90,000. This fascinating punch bowl was inherited from the guest's father-in-law, who acquired it at an auction 30 years ago. The inscription in German was a mystery to her, but it was deciphered through the help of some professionals. It revealed the punch bowl to be a birthday gift presented to Charles Hexamer, the president of the National German-American Alliance, in 1912. The punch bowl was a collaborative effort between a German-American artist, Hans Schuler, and a renowned American silversmith, Samuel Kirk. The artist was known for his public monuments, and interestingly, the punch bowl itself depicted the 45 states and the District of Columbia that were part of the German-American Alliance at the time. The inscription about the states offered a clue about the reason the punch bowl might have been buried. The German-American Alliance disbanded after World War I due to rising anti-German sentiment. Burying the punch bowl could have been a way to protect it during a time of hostility. Considering its historical significance, artistic collaboration, and good condition, the estimated value of the punch bowl is...
So we think that this were to come to public auction in the condition that it's in, it would bring around $20,000 to $25,000.
Awesome, that's great.
The guest brought in a truly unique piece of fashion history, a complete Playboy bunny costume from 1976. Candy, the former playmate, regaled the appraiser with her fascinating experiences at the Playboy Mansion and her time as a bunny. The costume itself wasn't just any outfit. It was the one she wore to win the coveted Playboy Bunny of the Year award at the Chicago Club. This special outfit came with a matching trophy, program from the pageant, and even the original name tag Candy sported that night. The costume is in such exceptional condition, unlike many bunny outfits that were likely returned to the clubs after use. Candy had managed to hold on to hers, making it a rare survivor. It was also crafted from a rare silver lame material, a significant departure from the more common satin costumes. The presence of the trophy, a program with celebrity autographs, and name tag further solidified the completeness and historical significance of the collection. These accompanying items not only added to the monetary value of the ensemble, but also provided a tangible connection to the era and the event itself. For instance, the program with autographs from celebrities like O.J. Simpson, Ringo Starr, and Milton Berle offered a glimpse of the star-studded audience that attended the televised pageant, a first of its kind. Taking all these factors into account, the estimated worth of the entire ensemble is...
So all together here, you have at least $8,200 to $11,300 worth of stuff.
Whoa, that's awesome!
However, in a recent auction, the value of the collection increased to $18,500 to $25,700. At a flea market, for a mere $40, the guest scored a rare treasure, a North Carolina Froctor. The guest correctly identified it as a birth baptismal certificate and knew it was likely German. Fractor refers to both the lettering style and this specific type of folk art, and while most Fractors are Pennsylvania Dutch, this one originated from Rowan, North Carolina. The document detailed Filipina Garin's birth in 1911 and listed her parents and baptismal witnesses. North Carolina Fractors are uncommon, which makes this piece particularly impressive with the vibrant decorations like the parrots, pinwheel design, and flowering vines. While the folded condition, a commonality for Fractors kept in family Bibles, detracted somewhat from its value, the rarity outweighed that. Considering its origin and relatively good condition, its conservative auction estimate is
that conservatively an $8,000 to $10,000 estimate.
Whoa.
Wow.
In a recent auction, the piece was auctioned for $15,000 to $25,000. We have here a beautiful pear-point lamp, a family heirloom with a couple of origin stories. The first story traced the lamp back to the guest's great-grandparents who settled in Wisconsin, while the other, more intriguing story involved the guest's grandfather winning it in a poker game on the Great Lakes. It is a pear-point lamp, well-known brand that originated in Massachusetts in the 1880s. This particular lamp was a type known as a pear-point puffy lamp, due to its characteristic bulging floral design. The lampshade further enhanced the beauty of the lamp. It depicted a charming garden scene with steps and urns on one panel and an elegant 16th century courting couple on the other. The floral and striped decorations on the sides and top added another layer of visual interest. The shade is identified as a rare Roma form. While the market for generic puffy lamps isn't as strong, the guest lamp is of exceptional quality with intricate details and excellent condition. Considering its rarity, exquisite craftsmanship, and good condition, the estimated value of the lamp is...
Full retail for insurance, you could say $15,000. Wow. And that even might be a little low. You could really stretch it if you wanted to $20,000. The money is in the shade.
From the Associated American Artist, these prints had been in the family of the guest for over 20 years. The Associated American Artist was a gallery opened in 1935 by a man named Reeves Lowenthal. He decided that art should also be for the middle class, not just the wealthy. Therefore, he and his team decided to commission 4 artists every year from 1939 to 1941 who would do a series of prints that they would sell by subscription. Reeves would choose a variety of American artists at random, but one was prominent, whose name was Thomas Benton. One of the prints by Benton shows a moving train with pedestrians trying to cross the railway line in a panic, and it is a very important print and well known. When his works come on the market individually, they sell for $4,500. There are prints by Reginald Marsh, and this will sell at $1,500 apiece. Luigi Luciani's prints would sell at $100 each because he was a remote painter, but made beautiful prints. Also, Ernest Finney's prints, if they came up on the market, would make about $50. Since 40 prints were presented on the show, this collection would bring a total of...
a value for the group of 40 of approximately $48,000.
This piece was given to the guest's father as payment for doing some electrical work for a Chinese gentleman in Washington, D.C. in 1957. It is a special Chinese magical scepter called a Ruyi scepter, meaning as you wish. The piece is 19th century and is a nephrite jade, one of the 2 types of jade. Having wonderful carvings, at the tail is a carving of a bat, which is the symbol of good luck in Chinese art. Further up is a qilon, like a baby dragon, which is a mythical animal in Chinese lore. At the top is a fantastic-looking landscape pattern, a limp fungus known as the fungus of immortality. Everything about this scepter means long life and good luck, and this scepter is not as white as other jades, though the color is beautiful. There will be a competition among collectors for this piece, and at auction, a conservative estimate would be...
This one, if I were to put in an auction, I would estimate it $1,500 to $2,500 as a conservative estimate. So what do you...
It's very good news.
This guest brought in her mother's doll, which she played with when she was little. It has beautiful eyes and original clothes made of silk, which have begun to deteriorate. Hence, the guest bought new clothes for it, but kept the old original clothes. Made in the 1920s to 1930s by Kessner in Germany, this doll has its original clothes which improve on its value. The wig on its head is also original human hair, and the body composition is papier-mâché. Therefore, as long as it is not damaged, a reasonable estimate at auction would be
between $4,000 and $6,000.
Oh my goodness. I'm totally surprised. I would never have dreamed.
This icebox was purchased by the guest's mother at an auction. On opening, the inside is lead-lined, just as a real icebox. Also, there is the box that houses the ice and a drain at the bottom of the box. It is a salesman sample and has never been appraised. At an auction, a fair estimate would be,
if something like this were to come up at auction, I would say this one's probably about a $2,000 salesman sample.
Wow, that's great. Thank you very much.
This tea set is a family heirloom purchased during a sale.
This was my mother's. It's been on our family for about 45 years or so. She bought it at a tag sale.
It is a sterling Chinese silver tea set dating back to the early 20th century. The set is beautifully designed with dragons, an auspicious symbol in China, with a pearl at the center. The pearl usually bears the initials of the owner, but this one is left blank. Presented in perfect condition, this set is made of the highest quality Chinese silver. Its quality aside, this tea set holds great significance for Chinese silverware collectors who would buy it for,
I think at auction this would be $5,000 to $7,000.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Here is a superb example of a beer advertising sign which has everything about advertising and its paraphernalia. It is a fine example of what is referred to as reversed lithograph decal transfer on glass. This piece has beautiful graphics and colors that attract attention. There was a piece before this one sold in 1995 at auction for $2,500, but it wasn't in great condition like this one. An auction estimate for this beer advertising sign,
but not quite as good condition, sold in 1995 at auction for $2,500.
The guest brought in interesting items that belonged to Clara Bow. The first item is a Cartier metal post watch that is handmade in Art Deco style and enamel. It opens and closes, and on the back is the name Clara Bow. Another item is an anklet given to Clara Bow by a lover of hers, and her initials are on the cover and at the back. Also, scrambled inside the watch is a note written to Clara Bow from Daniel Freelman on her birthday on 29th of July, 1928. In this note, it's discovered that he actually stole the items from Clara Bow. The watch is wonderful, and at auction, these items would be worth
$3,000 to $4,000 for the whole series.
Wow. Whoa.
I think it's really wonderful.
This item was a gift received by the guest from her father-in-law. It is a rifle scabbard made out of buffalo hide. An estimated manufacturing date would be between the 60s to 70s. It is an Indian rifle scabbard, but was made in Montana, and an auction estimate would be
conservatively worth $6,000 to $8,000.
My goodness. Thank you very much.
Guests brought in a unique glass art piece they acquired at a charity auction in 1986. The piece was created by Lino Tagliapietra, a renowned Venetian glass artist, during a workshop at Haystack Mountain School of Crafts. The guests witnessed Tagliapietra create the entire piece from its beginning stages to its final form and was captivated by its beauty. Although the piece lacked a signature, the guest had a compelling story and a series of photographs documenting the creation process, which are considered equally valuable. Lino Tagliapietra, a master of glassblowing who apprenticed under the famous Archimedes Seguso, was known for his innovative use of filigrana, a technique that incorporated delicate thread-like white glass elements. This piece showcased this very technique. While simpler in design compared to Tagliapietra's later works, the early creation date and the unique documentation of its creation process significantly enhanced its value. The estimated worth of this piece is,
I would put an insurance value of $6,000 on it.
Wow. Whoa, things have come up. Wow.
Yes.
The guest inherited a French doll from her great-aunt, along with a note stating the doll was brought from France in 1868. The appraiser confirmed its origins and dated it to between 1868 and 1870. The doll's clothing, known as trousseau, was considered extra special and rare, and each dress was made in the same pattern and period. The doll was an FG doll made by François Gautier with a body made by Gesland. The doll wasn't undressed to avoid damaging the clothing, and it featured bisque hands and legs. The pockets on the clothing were made for holding a fan. The doll's clothing included a hat, purse, and underwear, all made in cotton with original buttons. The guest mentioned damage to the doll, including a replaced foot and crack on the breastplate. Due to its rarity and the extensive clothing collection, the appraiser estimated it at...
I would, on the retail market today, put a value of $5,000.
$5,000? Oh my goodness. No, I didn't expect that.
The guests brought in a large electric Japanese toy boat they found at a garage sale for $100 15 to 18 years ago. It is a post-World War II Japanese-made wooden boat, one of the largest ever seen. The incredible detail and condition of the boat, along with its completeness, including 10 tiny lifeboats, made it particularly valuable. Along with the wood, there are these wonderful lifeboats, 10, all in stamped 10, and it's really incredible. The other metal components are the railings, which has quite a few little lights. The battery-operated motor and working lights added to the charm and functionality of the piece. The estimated value of the toy boat is to be...
Today's world auction value, I'd put it $2,000 to $2,500.
What? $2,000 to $2,500?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The guest brought in a large ceramic container, mistaking it for a teapot. The item is quickly identified as a punch bowl designed for serving large quantities of alcoholic punch during Victoria-era gatherings. These ornately decorated bowls were a common feature at social events throughout the 19th century, and their large size allowed for easy serving of punch to a crowd. However, the inscription on the punch bowl revealed a surprising detail. It was actually a gift presented in 1925, which was quite late for this type of object. Punch bowls had become somewhat less popular by the 1920s, making this particular punch bowl a unique and unexpected find. Despite being much later than expected, the punch bowl is still considered valuable due to its good quality.
Would have to be at least $400 or $500.
You're kidding?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you.
The guest came on the show with an admirable Noah's Ark for appraisal. At first look, the Ark looks angular without flare until the lid is lifted and the treasures inside are revealed. Animals in the Ark include pigs, giraffes, and others, some of which are in need of repair. This is the whole history of Noah's Ark dating to the 19th century, located between Germany and Slovakia. Other animals in the Ark were known as forest toys and made from a British company. They were responsible for making stylish wooden toys in the 1920s. The wood was carved in facets and angles and were not realistic. Therefore, because this story is so much about the 1920s, the realistic value for this piece is around...
I'm going to stick my neck out on this and say that it would fetch between perhaps £600 and £800. Oh, goodness me.
The guest brought a ring featuring yellow diamonds, rubies, and citrine. It was obtained by Basil Rathbone, an actor who played Sherlock Holmes in old B movies. Rathbone was a collector of fine jewelry. Rathbone gave this ring to his wife, Ouida Bergère. Ouida Bergère was also an American screenwriter and actress. The ring was dated to around 1945. The ring's provenance and value make it worth...
A ring like this could easily bring from $3,000 to $4,000 at auction.
The guest inherited an antique gray stoneware apple cider tankard from his aunt, who collected blue and white items. A handwritten note from the guest's great-aunt described the tankard as being made by Crolius and Associates and the Remys of New York around 1740. The appraiser corrected the guest, stating that the tankard was actually made in Baltimore, Maryland, in the early 19th century. Baltimore was a major center for stoneware production from 1800 to 1850. The tankard was made using a salt glaze technique, which involved shoveling salt into the kiln to create a shiny orange peel-like surface. The cobalt blue decoration on the tankard was done using a brush, and the piece featured serpentine lines and floral patterns. The tankard originally had a wooden spigot and cover, which were now missing. The condition and quality of the piece and its vertical handles and ears added to its value, which was appraised at...
This easily, at auction, is worth in a range of $3,000 to $5,000.
Oh, you're kidding.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
A cherished painting for 45 years that she unknowingly hung upside down all that time. The artwork, a captivating still life, depicted a basket overflowing with colorful fruit. Rendered in a meticulous realist style, the painting showcased Prentice's characteristic use of light and shadow, bringing depth and dimension to the seemingly ordinary scene. Despite decades of admiring it from the wrong perspective, it is quickly identified that the work is a piece by Levi Wells Prentice, a renowned artist known for his realistic style. What began as a $50 or $60 purchase from an art shop on 3rd Avenue had transformed into a small fortune. Due to the surge in demand for Prentice's work, particularly his still-life compositions, the estimated value of the painting at auction is...
And at auction, these days, it would fetch probably in the region of $20,000 to $30,000.
That's ridiculous. I loved it. I mean, it's such a wonderful, wonderful painting.
The guests brought in a captivating silver necklace they inherited from their aunt. It was designed by Margot de Taxco, a resilient woman who defied societal expectations. Overcoming personal hardships, Margot de Taxco carved a unique path for herself in the male-dominated world of silversmithing in Mexico. She established herself as a prominent designer and opened her own workshop, employing a team of talented artisans. The guest necklace was a signature creation by Margot de Taxco, a snake collar crafted from silver and embellished with enamel. The meticulous design incorporated tiny dots hammered into the metal, creating a textured canvas for the vibrant enamel. The most striking feature was the snake itself, the form following the curve of the neck and its body articulated to allow for natural movement. The necklace would have been part of a suite, originally accompanied by a pair of matching earrings. The estimated value of the necklace is to be...
In an auction today, I would say $1,500 to $2,000.
Oh, really? Very nice.
Retail could be $2,500.
Okay.
A fascinating book was displayed by the guest, salvaged from a pile of rubbish in Cardiff docks.
You know, at first sight, this appears to be a really nondescript old ledger, doesn't it?
At first glance, the book appeared to be an ordinary old ledger titled Police Passes, Photo, Name, Age. However, it contained an incredible collection of First World War mugshots. The appraiser noted that it was a police record of people who passed through Cardiff docks. The book was considered a historical treasure, documenting people escaping war and persecution. Some of the individuals in the book were suspected of being spies, as denoted by symbols and letters. The book was found to contain records of over 2,500 people. It was suggested that the volume be digitized and researched further. The appraiser concluded that the book's true value lay in uncovering its history.
Some of these people apparently denoted as spies. There's lots of kind of personal information.
Rather than assigning it a monetary value.
I'm not going to put a value on this. This is not something you can value.
This guest inherited this colored lithograph, a print depicting a cat from her cousin who had purchased it in Paris after World War II. The cousin, a cat lover, was told the artwork was very valuable, although she only paid a few $100s for it back in the 1940s. The artwork is identified as Summer Cat by Theophile Steinlen, a Swiss artist who was born in 1857 and moved to Paris in his early 20s. There he established himself as a prominent illustrator and poster artist, creating works that often addressed social issues and depicted the lives of the working class and the poor. However, Steinlen is perhaps best known for his love of cats, which frequently served as the subjects of his paintings and prints. Summer Cat is a particularly charming example, showcasing a relaxed feline perched on a railing and basking in the warm summer sun. The lithograph was created in 1909 and is considered a companion piece to another artwork titled Winter Cat. While the guest was not a cat lover herself, she had kept the print on her porch for the past 15 years. It is revealed to be quite valuable. Despite some minor condition issues caused by the framing, The lithograph was estimated to be worth,
if I had to put a replacement value or a retail value on this, I would say it's around $10,000 to $12,000. So you're at the top end.
Guests brought a figure that was acquired from a family friend. It was believed to be from the Klamath region, where the friend's grandfather worked. The appraiser clarified that the item was actually from the Queen Charlotte Islands in British Columbia. The beautiful piece was carved by the Haida, an indigenous group known for their intricate artwork and carvings. The particular figure was made from a black slate-light rock called argillite. The appraiser acknowledged the rare piece for its distinctive style and craftsmanship. The object had some condition issues due to falling from a fireplace mantel. Despite this, the suggested value for the item was...
Present condition, this is $5,000 to $10,000.
Okay.
If it were mint, this is a $50,000 piece.
Oh, and it fell off the fireplace mantle.
Guests got this cracked baseball bat directly from Mickey Mantle after a match with Baltimore in 1963. At the end of the handle is inscribed T108, which is the sign on the 6 baseball bats Mickey ordered from Louisville Slugger. To protect it from breaking, the guests did a beautiful tape job on the bat. In 1963, the New York Yankees were American baseball champions, even though they lost the World Series to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Due to the crack, the value has been affected, but it can be insured for $15,000. At an auction, the realistic estimate for this item would be...
I think that if it was to go to auction, I think an auction estimate would be about $10,000 to $15,000.
Oh my God.
Well,
isn't that wonderful?
Absolutely.
Holy cow, I never would have expected that.
We have here a small bronze sculpted boar, conveying a sense of movement and vitality. The guest stumbled upon this item in a dirt playground as a child.
I think I was about 4 years old. I was in the garden digging with a spade. I think I was the kind of kid to quite often pick things up.
This finely crafted boar displays the artistry patterns of the Romans from the 1st and 2nd century AD. The boar's head features small, alert eyes and detailed snout with flaring nostrils and slightly protruding tusks.
The eyes, the tusks, it is almost too good to be true. A lot of people think that these are always religious or sacrificial objects,
showing the boar's formidable presence. In Roman culture, the boar symbolizes bravery and ferocity, and sometimes religious rituals. When we look closely, we see green patinas on the item, which help in examining historical antiques.
This is going from a gut instinct. There's work to do here, but it needs to go off to a museum and be properly checked out.
Overall, this bronze boar is not only an artistic marvel, but also a cultural artifact that shows the skill and symbolism in Roman art. At an auction, it would fetch...
I think at auction in the region of £10,000.
Wow.
Guests brought in a late 19th century Chinese jade carving with a coral bead. It has a missing piece, but despite the damage, it is considered valuable due to its age. The carving is not all there, and it had more to it. In perfect condition, the carving could be worth $3,000, but with the missing piece, its value is...
Be worth around $3,000. It's still worth between $800 and $1,200.
Oh, wow.
The guest brought a unique item that had been handed down from her father. It was discovered by the guest's father while digging a hole for a bush. The appraiser identified the object as a wafer iron, which was quite uncommon. These irons often featured dates, initials, or names on their surfaces, typically from the mid-18th century. This particular wafer iron bore the Great Seal of the United States and was dated 1812. During that time, it was popular to display patriotism by incorporating the American seal on items. The appraiser explained that its functionality was similar to waffle irons. They discussed the item's origin, though it was unclear why this particular iron was created. Considering the intriguing story, the suggested value for the item was...
Well, these sell on the market between $1,500 and $2,000.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
The guests brought in a doll they found in pieces at an estate sale. It is an Armand Marseille mold number 240 Googly doll, a German-made doll produced around 1912. While not a true Kewpie doll, a copyrighted design, This doll shared many similar features, including a large head, big eyes, and an impish grin. The doll's quality is also truly impressive. Armand Marseille was a renowned doll maker, and this particular doll boasted a bisque head in excellent condition and a jointed composition body. An interesting detail is that this doll could have come with either a baby body or a toddler body, with the latter being more desirable for collectors. Although the doll needed some minor eye repair, its overall condition and quality were exceptional. Considering the guest only paid $175 to $200 for the doll in pieces, the current estimate at auction is...
An auction estimate would be easily $2,500 to $3,500.
Oh, really?
Yes. With this nice toddler body, you know, it might bring $4,000.
A remarkable pair of haute couture dresses, purchased by our guest, are presented to us today. These exquisite dresses were created by none other than Ossie Clark. Clark, a renowned British fashion designer, was a pivotal figure in London's swinging 60s and the fashion industry of that era. The dress on the left showcases Clark's exceptional skill as a cutter, and the material used flows with exquisite grace.
The material is sort of rayon crepe that flows really beautifully, sometimes referred to as moss crepe.
It also features beautifully stylized pointed collars, a hallmark of Clark's designs. The dress on the right boasts a unique print and pattern known as Step by Step.
The print is by Celia Birtwell.
Yeah, they were a creative duo that's romantic linked, and they were married for a few years.
The dress with the print pattern has a touch of flair and would be valued at...
This is probably worth around £500 or more.
Meanwhile, the dress with the iconic pointed collars, characteristic of Clark's work, would be valued at...
This one with the pointed collar would have a value around £300.
I'm amazed, absolutely amazed.